guys, today's video is on this unicorn look. If you're new to my channel, I post Halloween tutorials each year. You can check out my other videos down below. Hit that subscribe button for more videos and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the do-it-yourself unicorn headband first. I used a 5.9 inch foam cone from Michaels, a Dremel, and a knife. I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways to make this horn, but I really wanted mine to look as realistic as possible, so I started by cutting off the bottom edges till it wasn't as cone-shaped anymore. So here's where the Dremel comes in. Once you have your general size and shape, use the sanding attachment to smooth down the surface. I found actually what worked best for me is going from side to side in a fluid, slow motion, working your way up near the top end. You can totally stop here. I think the horn looks awesome like this. Add a little bit of paint for a nice finish and you're done. But if you want those nice curves going around your horn, then you gotta keep going. Do this. You want to switch the attachment on the Dremel now to the carving tool. Starting at the bottom of the horn, carve your way all the way up around to the top, twisting it as you go along with your other hand to kind of help guide you. I did a lot of curves for mine, but you could always make it easier on yourself and just do like 3. It's totally up to you. The first time around, I applied very light pressure so that you can get an outline for yourself without messing up. And then the second time, you can make the curves sink down even more into the horn, not corn, by going in with a heavier hand. As a finishing touch, go back in with the Dremel using the sanding attachment that we first had put on, just to smooth out any rough edges. Now you can paint the horn whatever color you like. I used a white acrylic paint that's pretty opaque, so I only had to brush on one layer all over. Just a warning, this part gets incredibly messy all over the place, on your floor, on your clothes, on your hair, everything. But to add more glam, you can always sprinkle on some glitter onto the paint before it completely dries so that it sticks really well. For the curves, you want to go inside those ridges to create shadow there. I wanted to keep the sparkle going, so I used a pigment. It's from Mica Bella. It's an eyeshadow in the shade Diligence. It's sort of like a golden, darker brown. Once I got it into the deepest part of the curve, then I blended out the edges a bit. But it wasn't as dark as I wanted it, so I went in with a little bit of dark brown eyeshadow, then went over again with the Diligence eyeshadow, and then I went through with just a little bit more of the glitter from Makeup Geek and put that on the parts of the horn that were sticking out. Alright, horn is complete, so to attach it to your headband, you just want to put some hot glue on the very bottom of it and firmly press it on until it's set and dry. And before anybody asks, because I just have a feeling somebody is going to ask, my headband is actually from eBay. It was super cheap, I think like under $5. You don't have to choose one that has ears built into it. If you do, it's easy, you know, because you can wrap your hair around it like I'll be doing at the end of this tutorial. But if you still want to get that ear look with the hair, you can just, you know, put some pipe cleaners on there and just shape them out into the shape of an ear and then wrap your hair around those. As for the placement of the flowers, I put the biggest petals at the bottom and then layered over top the smaller petals just to, you know, make it seem like it was really coming out. But if I had just glued the flowers on the way they would have been way too big and then my horn would be covered, and I didn't want that, so I kind of had to improvise and make my own flowers. I also added some green leaves to the sides and some smaller little flowers in the center. Very easy to make. I think that this turned out really cute, and I hope you guys like that little do-it-yourself tutorial. Let me know if any of you make a headband after watching this. I really would like to know. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the makeup now. I'm just blocking out my eyebrows because they are pretty dark and I want to change them into a pink color. So I added concealer and then I powdered it down, and now I'm going in with 2 different liquid lipsticks. First is this lighter shade to help map out the shape of my eyebrows. It is Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Matte Lipstick in 101. I'm basically just drawing the shape that I usually draw for my eyebrows. Nothing too different, so just going right over those hairs. And then I'm going in with the lipstick that I'm actually going to use on my lips and that I felt like really matched the hair. It's Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Matte Longwear Lipstick in Freshly Baked from the Candy Johnson collection. MAC Painterly Paint Pot to prime the eyes. And as my eyeshadow today, the very first one that we're putting all through the crease from inner to outer corner is actually a blush from Makeup Geek in Infatuation. From the ABH Modern Renaissance palette, I am picking up this beautiful fuchsia eyeshadow called Love Letter, and with a very small brush, I'm working this onto the outer corner of my upper lash line, and then working it up into the outer corner of my crease, and then blending it outwards to create a nice smoked out effect. I used the e.l.f. gel liner and a very thin angle brush to create my winged liner today to help elongate the eyes. And I applied Kiss lashes I think they're in Gala. Benefit Professional as my primer, as always. I love that primer, it's so good. And for foundation, I used the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation from Too Faced in light beige. This was actually my first time using it, and I liked it a lot. I wanted it to be like a softer kind of airbrush finish, so I just blended it all in with like a really fluffy brush. It Cosmetics by Under Eye in neutral medium. I like to warm this up on the back of my hand first and then apply it onto my face. Otherwise, it just too much gets put on, and I find that when you warm it up, it really helps to sink in better to the skin. So I put this on the high points of my face, under the eyes, down the bridge of my nose, forehead, cupid's bow, and chin. This is the Pro HD concealer from LA Girl. It's in the shade Toast. I put this under my cheekbones, along the sides of my nose and tip of my nose, around my hairline and jawline. To blend it in, I used the new silicone blender from e.l.f. and I thought I did a pretty good job. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna start using this now. I had not realized that using something like this would work so beautifully. As a finisher to set the concealer in place, I used from the Too Faced Peach Perfect collection the mattifying loose setting powder, which is infused with peach and sweet fig cream. It smells so good. Makeup Geek Infatuation blush on the cheeks. Really wanted to blow out this reddish kind of pink blush going on, so I worked it under the eyes and then down onto my cheekbones. And I used the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Blushed Copper to kind of help darken that blush shade. NYX Glitter Cream Palette in Pretty in Pink. I basically mixed the white and pink shades together, put that all over my cheekbones, up onto my nose, on my forehead, pretty much all over my face. I went a little crazy with that, but I knew that I wanted a lot of glitter, and what's nice about this is that it's very sticky, so anything you want to put over top will stick just fine to your face throughout the night. To finish the lower lash line, I just used one of those lighter shades from the Modern Renaissance palette, and then I worked through, again, Love Letter through the outer corner, a little bit of black liner on the outer waterline, blended it out with my fingertip, and mascara on those lower lashes. So here we're going in again with that Too Faced Melted Matte Liquefied Matte Longwear Lipstick in Freshly Baked. And now we're going to brighten things up, okay? Brightening things up with this Ofra Glazed Donut Highlighter. This thing's crazy. I would never use this on a regular basis, but for a unicorn look, it's perfect. So I put this in the inner corners of my eyes, down the tip of my nose, also under my eyes where I put my concealer, and the center of my forehead, because I really just wanted to glow. So I had these little rhinestones in my closet. I have like a closet full of random things, so I used that to kind of create like a little crown. I just put some eyelash glue on my forehead and then stuck them right to it. Also used the eyelash glue to help stick on these tiny little gold stars that I also had. So I'm sorry guys, I have no idea where I got them. I'm sure you could find them at like Michael's or AC Moore or really any craft store. So we have the chunky glitter from NYX, we've got the stars, we've got the rhinestones, and I felt like I needed more. I dabbed these all around my temples. They're from Martha Stewart Crafts Fine Glitter in Florentine Gold. So this is a really cool liquid lipstick from Ofra in Emerald City. So depending on the way the light hits it, it can either look green or purple or gold or brown. So I wanted to put this on my face somehow. I put it along my temples and then kind of worked it up onto my forehead. Wig cap, and then my beautiful pink wig that I got from Amazon. Man, this thing is gorgeous. I think it's my favorite wig. I ordered a bunch of wigs actually for Halloween, and this one is so pretty. I'm obsessed with it. So I'll link it below, as well as everything else that I used in this video. Pick a hair, I'd say like maybe like an inch. Start wrapping that around the one side of your little ear. Make sure you're choosing hair from the back, like from behind the headband, so that you don't notice any hair missing in the front. My headband, since it had so many big flowers on it and leaves on it, pretty much covered that area where the hair was missing, so I didn't have to worry about that. But you just want to keep looping it through over and over. Keep going with those loops and pin it in the back. I started looping the hair at the top, the very tip of the ear, and then kept looping all the way down to the bottom, so that way it was easier to pin. Use your fingers to kind of pull it apart and adjust so that the headband isn't showing. And there you go, there's your little hair ear. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing on the other side, but I actually did this side a little differently. I took a thinner piece of hair and I wrapped it around that one side and then pulled it apart before I pinned it down. And I don't know, I thought it just gave it a little more volume that way, so I did the same thing again for the other side of that ear. This side was always the most difficult, I found, because you have all of those flowers that you glued onto the headband that you kind of don't want to get caught up into the wrapped hair. So just be mindful of that you're not completely covering all the flowers. You can pin the hair down and again, just adjust if you need to. And guys, my headband was so secure on my head, like there was no way that this thing was coming off. So I used the Makeup Geek Infatuation blush again, and I put that on my chest and shoulders, also along my jawline and down the sides of my neck. And then I went through with that blinding Ofra Cosmetics highlighter. Lightly brushed that onto my collarbones and shoulders, a little bit on my neck, the center of my neck as well. Went through with that chunky glitter from NYX. And then I put over top of that, since it was all nice and sticky, the Martha Stewart Fine Glitter in Florentine Gold. And lastly, to complete the unicorn look, you just want to throw in some random braids into your hair. I actually didn't even have to use a rubber band to hold these in place. I don't know, this wig was like freaking amazing, guys. So I just did, a few random braids, some near my face, some near the back, and that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my Halloween tutorials this year. I'm going to link the rest that I did down below, and also my videos from previous years too. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.